they spanning over the audience. Cats is people got their eyes closed.
Stop, man.
I just see two
What you on?
congressmen.
You looking at C?
Yeah, I'm flipping, and I see two congressmen with their eyes closed.
Did you say their eyes are closed?
Eyes are closed. As in,
Oh.
you know when you sit there and you like,
Oh, Lord.
am I asleep? You know, you like, am I asleep? Are my eyes closed right now?
So
Like, oh my
are they
God.
doing like that? When Jordan first fought, they were still the Bobcats, and I can't remember who they were playing, and they actually had him on the floor because normally he was always up in
Right.
one of the private little room areas, so you couldn't really see, and they had him down on the floor. They panned the crowd, and I was like, "Oh, is Michael Jordan asleep at the game?" It was everywhere. It was on every news station the next day in Charlotte. They were like, and the joint was hilarious because they were like, so they want us to watch the Bobcats play, and Jordan won't even stay awake for the game. It was awful.
Somebody did say that. Somebody did say that.
That thing
I'm
was
telling you.
hilarious.
I'm telling you, I'm sitting here just like, you know, when you just sit there and all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, my eyes are closed. Like,
Hey, look, Lanice. Lanice, I'm gonna tell you straight up. This brother right here will fall asleep on you in a second.
Hey,
Yeah.
you
I'm real
remember
tired.
we have him sleep on the show.
Right.
You remember that, right? We got him sleep on the show.
Yeah, I remember I slept on the show.
Lanice,
That was
this
late.
dude-
I was tired.
Lanice, this dude.
I remember we were asleep. I done fell out at Pete's house
Chad,
late night before,
Lanice, we was at
riding in the car.
Look, we was at a Nesby conference one time. And he had
Oh, in Orlando. In the restaurant.
IBM
In the
Park.
restaurant.
They had like a little Johnny Rocket style type of little restaurant in there. So we went there and got some milkshakes. We sitting at the table talking, and this dude got a hat. And he was just like, "Yeah, man, the party was straight, man." And
Not in mid-conversation.
Lanice, I'm not exaggerating. That dude was talking.
Oh, God.
And he was sitting there drinking the milkshake, and we just looked. He was just like, and he put his hand down, and he did just like this.
Oh, God.
I looked up, I said, you know me, I'm back. Is this nigga asleep?
Jason.
Lanice.
Jason.
At the Desby conferences, the Desby conference, I would sleep a total of 4 hours for the week. We would just be going hard.
So you had to get it in there. You had to get it in when you could.
Oh my God, we were recruited.
I called him a couple times. I let him go. I was like, I'm gonna let this brother just take his little nap.
Just catch him a nap.
I'm just gonna drink this milkshake.
Hold on in there.
Hey, like
Oh, my
Boss Baby
goodness.
power nap. Do that Boss Baby power nap. I'm telling you.
Man, I'm glad you said that. I gotta go catch. I gotta watch that Boss Baby, man. And of course, I already got tickets to the Black Panther. I've stopped watching previews of that. I'm done.
How many? How many?
It's about 4 or 5. It's about 4 or 5 previews out there now, and they show a lot.
I know, and the thing is,
I don't know. I haven't really seen any previews on TV. The longest preview that I've seen is when I went to go see Justice League.
Well, they show during the national championship game. They showed
they did
a 2.5. They showed a 3-minute one, a 2-minute one, and then
I was at work. I didn't.
And then I ran across another one where the girl, the general, his second person in charge, the one that was with her, somebody pulled a gun and she was like, "Guns, so primitive." And then she pulled out something. I was like, "What the heck was that?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh no, I can't watch this no more." It's too much.
There's a.
But you know what the thing is though, I bet because somebody said that the original cut of Black Panther is like 4 hours long.
Oh yeah.
So my guess is.
Hours.
Yeah, my guess is they're probably showing you a lot of stuff that is going to end up on the extended on the cutting board, or either like the DVD or the Blu-ray extended version thing.
Yeah, they do, and they do that. I tell people they do that a lot because if you think about a lot of the movies, there's a lot of scenes that I've seen that, like you say, you don't even see them until you get the DVD.
Yeah, and some of them, you'll see the preview for it. and you'll go to the movie waiting for that scene because it was so good.
And it never shows up.
And you're like, well, what? But no, there was this line in the movie. Yes, I remember because I saw the commercial, and it never shows in the actual movie.
I actually read that. Read a little bit what Scott said about this whole. I'm gonna jump right into this whole Mike Tomlin thing because I ain't realized.
Well, talking about Black people, let's go.
Yeah, but I didn't realize. So I stayed in today because they actually kicked us out of work. I never went in, so I was chilling. I had First Take on in the background, and I was doing some stuff on the laptop. And I heard the whole thing. I hadn't heard about the whole thing with Tomlin talking about they got people fishing to get his job and all his lobbyists and all this stuff. And it was funny because Max and Stephen A went back and forth about it. Max was like, no, he's underachieving relative to, not underachieving. The man made a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl, made 2, blah, blah, blah. Then Stephen A was like, well, based on the standard.
He's won 2 Super Bowls, hasn't he?
No, just one. He just won.
Just one?
Yeah, the Steelers only won 2 Super Bowls since the 70s, and that was Jerome Bettis' farewell against Seattle, and then they beat the Cardinals with the San Antonio home. They lost to the Packers. They lost to the Packers.
Oh, that's true. Right. Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
That is right.
That's right.
Aaron Rodgers won. And that's what I'm saying. And they barely beat the Cardinals. Let's just put it out there. And a lot of people still think they cheated against the Seahawks. So anyway, but what I'm saying is,
first of all, the Seahawks wasn't Tomlin. That was Bill Cowher.
But what I'm saying is, but since he's been at the helm, they've not had a losing season.
So he's been good.
And the worst record they've had is 8-8.
Yeah, division. He's division. They win the division every year.
But they're saying as far as the standard he set by winning early. And,
because he won the Super Bowl. When at his second year, he won the Super Bowl.
So what they're saying is he's underachieved for that because of the rank. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, what's your definition of underachieving? To me,
because if
underachieving is underachieving.
What Marvin Lewis did.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like stuff that's to me is underachieving. What Gruden did when he went to Tampa Bay.
Right.
After he won that
Super Bowl and then never went back.
And you
didn't even go to the playoffs.
Underachieving. To me, I'm like, they trying. So then Will Kane got up there and said, if y'all not going to say it, I'll say it. This could be a race thing. And then everybody's eyes perked up. And they were just like, what Will Kane was saying is, it's so insane for somebody to think to fire him. Why wouldn't you think this could be a race thing? He was basically saying there is no earthly. He's like, we shouldn't even be talking about this. But the fact that we're talking about it, I can't rule out it being a race thing. And now I see all other things going on. I mean, in my opinion, I'm not going to rule it out. I mean, we can't. I mean,
and that's why when I posted the article in the group, I said this only happens to a Black coach. No one else would ever think, because listen, Jeff Fisher has been allowed to go 7-9 for 1 trillion years.
Jay, you still be
and it was all okay.
Go ahead, Jay, because I know where you're going with this.
Go ahead.
As far as saving Black people, there ain't nobody. If anything, Jimmy Haslam should be last name should be Wilberforce or Abraham Lincoln, because Hugh Jackson has won 1 game in 2 seasons.
Yep.
And they talking about trying to get rid of Tomlin.
Right.
Give me a break. Let's have some perspective here.
Right.
This coach is coming back, ain't win a game. Singular
game out of 16
game.
Did y'all win a
16 tries? Didn't even fall into a victory.
No, we didn't fall into a victory.
We snatched victory.
You
snatched defeat
from the jaws of victory. So there ain't no. I mean, to me, the whole race thing, I'm kind of like, I look at it like this. And Jimmy Haslam used to be one of the minority owners in Pittsburgh. Ain't that a big, but
well, there's that.
They trying to. The way I look at it like this, the Rooneys have been doing their own thing for years, decades, and good at it, decades. They lost for decades, like 30 years before they became good in the 70s with Chuck Noll.
Chuck Noll.
So I look at that story and I'm kind of like, you think the Rooneys are like, y'all minority owners for a reason. Because we don't want y'all to have any big piece of this. Y'all go over there and stand over there. I got the big piece of chicken.
Right.
Go sit down.
Right.
Y'all go sit down. We made the Rooney Rule. So we're going to fire this Negro for winning records?
Right.
Go over there and sit down with your money.
And who was it?
Talk. And who
was it? Paul made a good point on the post that I made in the group where he was like, "This is what happens when your spoiled fans get accustomed to winning all the time, and then they lose to a team that they thought was trash, but was actually a really good team."
Right.
Jacksonville was straight legit this season.
But man, they hit them in the mouth. They hit them in the mouth, and Pittsburgh didn't have that fire. That's the problem. You got a bunch of characters thinking that they're looking past the game, and they came up against some boys that were.
We can play the Patriots anywhere, but we're going to the Super
Mike
Bowl.
Mitchell? Who is Mike Mitchell?
He's the guy. He's the guy because Jacksonville, whoever the young man is or a woman that is on their Twitter account, kudos to them. Because Mike Mitchell is the guy that is now playing the Patriots. He said he could play him in hell. They were like, well, you can play him all season the rest of the year on EA Sports Madden. That was
right.
Look,
that was good.
But
I'm like, Mike Mitchell, you need to make some Pro Bowls before you start talking about anybody. Saying you go, I mean, I'm like,
but that's
you know different than that dude that who was the last guy that was talking crap to Tom Brady, and then they ended up getting smashed. Wasn't that a Steeler?
It probably was.
Or was it
probably
a Raven?
Was because for whatever reason the Steelers notoriously do not know how to be quiet when they have to play the Patriots. Because last year before the AFC Championship game, your man Antonio Brown had Facebook Live the whole
see now that's
locker
the
room
thing.
Celebration with Mike Tomlin talking.
Now that's the thing where Mike Tomlin need to clean up that crap. He need to tighten up. Exactly.
He need to clean up that crap because they talk.
He's the one.
A lot of things that they say is like you're saying the right things, but you're just saying it at the wrong time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I get the contract thing, Le'Veon Bell. Everybody knows that arguably you're the best running back in the league. But everybody also knows what they've been doing to running backs for the last 5 or 6 years. Why we don't want to hear from you right before you go out and play the Jaguars, the best defense. And granted, they put up 40 points. It's not like they didn't go out there and give the Jacksonville defense all that they can handle. But to me, the biggest disappointment about that is, and you know how I feel when I said last week, and I ain't coming off of it, Lenise, you let Blake Bortles get a 94 quarterback rating, throw for over 200 yards, and help put up 38 points on you. You ain't got nothing to say until preseason the next year. Blake Bortles. Oh, he's great.
But crazy part is that he only had one touchdown. All those other touchdowns came from Leonard Fournette. But nobody had an answer for anything that Jacksonville did on defense. And honestly, that was a game. It was such a crazy game because as much as Jacksonville's defense had been really good all season, they were hot garbage this past week.
That's what I'm saying.
Hot garbage.
That's what I'm saying, Lenise. And my point is this: even if Leonard Fournette runs for 700 yards, Blake Bortles still threw for 200 yards and 94.1 QBR. So my point is, the weakest part of that team still balled against you.
Right.
Still balled against you. And you was out there talking trash and you couldn't stop Blake Bortles?
Right.
At least week 5.
Right.
At least week 5 when they got beat 30-9, it wasn't Blake Bortles.
But that's what I'm saying. I looked at the box score because I was actually at the girls USC game. They played Tennessee. It was top 6 matchup, blah blah blah. So I didn't see but pieces of the game. But I went and looked at the box score, and as a sports fan, if you know sports, you can look at the box score and get a feel for how the game went. And, you can look at by quarter and look at the box score. And the first thing that jumped out to me was, I said, is that a 94 at the end of that? 94? What? So that to me told me that they couldn't stop nothing. They weren't stopping anything. And all Jacksonville had to do was do it a couple of times, as opposed to the Steelers just wasn't doing anything. And Maisha hit me up. She was like, they couldn't stop nothing. She was like,
and they really couldn't, because I was at work, and I always go back and I check the score. And when I was on break, the game, it was the first quarter, and it was the 14-0 Jacksonville. And I said, well, now this is a mess. But I wasn't worried, because I'm like, Pittsburgh is built to come from behind. They have the squad to do that. And they, for some reason, the past couple of years, they have been a squad that will play down to their competition. Yep. So I wasn't concerned. And they had scored 2 points. They had scored 2 touchdowns. Jacksonville scored. And I said, well, okay. And then they had scored, and then it was like 28-21. And I was like, okay, so they're going to get it together. I come back around the corner. They had scored. They had 28 points. But I was like, but now Jacksonville got 35. I said, what are y'all doing?
Right.
Every time they would score, their defense absolutely could not stop the bleeding from Jacksonville, so that offense could keep up to actually pass. Mm-hmm. It was a mess. They couldn't stop anything. Yeah. They had no answer. They really had no answer for Leonard Fournette. Absolutely none. He made Blake Bortles look like a good QB, and we all know that that's not real.
Right. They missed Shazier more than they thought they were.
Shazier obviously was a lot better than what I thought he was, because
I think I knew he was really that good, but he really held it through the middle, and I think they missed James Harrison in this one too.
Yeah, and the thing that was Shazier, he's a Buckeye, so I've seen him. He was skinny for a linebacker, but you can make it work in college. But to his credit, he bulked up and he showed that he has strength, even though he still is a little bit lean for a middle linebacker. He of course he can move, but he can hold his own.
That helped with his speed, though.
Yeah,
because he was quick.
Right, so he's quick enough, and he doesn't miss tackles. He's a reliable tackle. So
form tackling. Let's talk about form tackling.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Let's talk about form tackling in the NFL, people.
Right.
Talking about wrapping up your player.
Right. Lanice, I told Pete that day. I said, I never in my life, when I played football, thought I was good enough to not rap. I didn't even think I was good enough. So I wrapped up no matter what. I've had my fair share of big hits, but my big hits were wrapping up. And, I remember watching the pros where I was like, man, these dudes hitting and ain't even rapping. They can hit that hard. Yeah, I'm probably not that good. I'm not even going to do it. And to I'm not
that guy.
I'm not that guy. And in thinking about it is that one guy that could have done it and never did it, to his credit, Ray Lewis. You never saw Ray Lewis do that. He pretty much 9 times out of 10 he was wrapping up, which is how he led the league in tackles year after year after year.
Talking about that dude.
But I mean,
don't nobody wrap up. Don't nobody hit. Don't nobody cover. There's a bunch of mess up.
No, they hit because everybody's trying to make the highlight.
They hit.
Everybody's trying to make the highlight
or the
big play. And so. Yeah, what do they call that? A hope tackle? Close your eyes and hope you hit somebody.
Exactly.
Like I said, this whole going back to that whole play. I mean, Saints. First of all, let's just give credit where credit is due. That was a hell of a game. I mean, that game was it was a great game. That was a football game. I mean, if you really think about it, there was a lot in that game that you can go. You know how you watch a game and you go, "This is quality football." That was quality football.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
There's a lot of games we watched this year. We were just like struggling.
There's a lot of bad football.
It was like, man, get to this fourth quarter. That's why red zone is such a great concept, because you don't have to sit there and grind out all these games unless you're a fan of the team.
Right.
But then you just suffer through.
But you honestly didn't know who was going to win that game until that last, you know what I'm saying, that last field goal, and then when Minnesota had the ball, you know, of course, the statistician.
Even then,
but the statistician in me, you looking at the game, you like, yeah, you know they got a chance they could get in field goal range.
Right, but you're I'm like, watching, there's no way they make this.
Right, but I'm saying as I'm watching the game, I'm thinking, well, this got to happen. That, you know, because you start calculating, right? This got to happen. That's got to happen. This got to happen. Or they got to catch it here. They got to get out of bounds. Or they got to run up and all this. Mm-hmm. And you sitting there thinking about this, and next thing you know, the ball is in Stephon Diggs' hand. And you're like, what the hell? What just happened?
Right.
I was like, wait a minute.
He you know, when
like he didn't go out of bounds.
When I was watching that play, the moment Williams started coming up, I started yelling at the TV. I said, "Where are you going? You're the safety. Yeah. You were the last line of defense.
They're gonna safety.
Yep.
You cannot leave the backside open because I was looking and I said, all you got to do, I'm like, let Diggs catch the ball. Let him catch the ball.
He could have ran up. He could have ran up and stood next to him and just wait for him to catch it and then knock it.
Right. But he didn't even need to. He needed to be on the backside because your man that he knocked out the play, number 20, if he didn't make the stop,
took him out.
If you didn't make if he didn't make the stop, you would have got ahead to make the stop. Where are you going? Why are you trying to make a hit? I just needed you to let that man catch the ball, wrap him up, and then let your man come and help you hold him in bounds. Game over. Because there's no way they're running down, because as you said, Pete, you're running the numbers in your head. There is no way they're running down and getting that clock and getting them lined up and the ball spiked with enough time, because it was 10 seconds left on the clock. There's no way that happened. It's not. Sir, what are you doing?
And the thing is, you knew they had to get a certain distance to even have a chance to kick a realistic field goal.
So
right. Like I said, I'm doing the number. Right. I'm running the numbers in my head. He dropped 5-step drop, couple seconds. Plant the foot, another second. The ball is in the air. That's another 2 seconds. Somebody catches it. If they're in bounds, that's another 3-4 seconds. Then by the time they get the ball, I was like, they would
have barely had enough time to get that field goal off. Barely.
Knock them out of bounds. I'm sitting there going, I mean, like if you would have got out of bounds, they would have still had a chance. And then to your point, he's out of bounds at what, the 30, 35? That's still
it's still at best a 48 yard.
Almost a 50-yard field goal with 4 back.
Right.
I mean, with him, who's been missing crap, because I know why he been missing.
Right.
He was on my fantasy team. That's why I know he was missing. 5 points.
Well, you know, and the thing is, then people tried to make up for the. People tried to say that he was trying to avoid the pass interference call. But even if he'd have gotten the pass interference call when the ball was gotten there, it's still a 48-yard field goal. That is not a guarantee.
Basically, what happened.
It wasn't. There was no way. That doesn't even make sense.
This dude did the worst thing you could do, gave up his ground, and didn't touch the daggone guy at all. I'm like,
and took out the other guy that had the opportunity to stop him from making that play.
I was like that, and when I saw that, how it all, like when you first saw the play, you're sitting there thinking, how did it happen? Then when they showed the replay, I was like, that's a miracle. Because everything went wrong with that play for that dude. Hey, like I said, you can't get but so upset at him, because if he doesn't get the interception early in the game, they may not even be in that position to win. But it is. He's gonna get remembered for that one play, and it is what it is.
Yep. Until
and the memes are classic.
Oh, you know what? And
Stone Cold.
And after all the memes,
the parade
I
of him holding the umbrella.
Have you seen him playing the drums?
And then Prince.
No, I see the
Prince, really?
speed skating.
Oh my God! Yes.
Then they had the one with him and Drake. Had him, Drake, and Antonio Brown in the video dance.
Right.
Did you see the one with him and Beyonce dancing for Single Ladies? Oh my gosh. But I felt bad for him, and I feel like somebody should check on him to make sure he hasn't split his wrist. Because
he ain't gonna split his wrist. Somebody in New Orleans might try to split his wrist.
He's getting death threats. He's getting death threats. One of my coworkers is a huge. He's actually from New Orleans, and he's a huge Saints fan. And he said he's like I feel bad for the kid. He's like, because he's getting death threats. And I said, well, bless his heart. And I said, but now he's got to pull for the Eagles, because here's the thing. If Minnesota doesn't go to the Super Bowl and they don't win the Super Bowl, that play only lives forever in Minnesota Viking folklore.
That's right.
You don't have to see that all the time. Minnesota wins the Super Bowl, that play lasts forever for all of sports eternity, because every time they mention Minnesota Super Bowl win, they go back to that one play. That's where it goes. And I know this for a fact, because when the Eagles were on their run of NFC championships, when we were playing against Green Bay and we got that obscene, absurd 4th and 26 to move on to the next game, it was all you heard until we lost. And then we lost, and now nobody remembers that play except for Philadelphia Eagle fans. They don't talk about it anymore because there's no finished story to that. So Minnesota, if they win the Super Bowl, this poor kid's life is ruined. It's done. It's done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be fine.
Well, look who's here.
He'll be.
No, I don't. Hey, look. Hey. Hey, listen. I won the whole league, and no one wanted to say congratulations. I didn't see anyone at the press conference.
The commissioner, I told you.
I'm not in the league.
I told you the commissioner didn't even tell nobody when the draft was, and didn't even put a lineup in. I ain't paying attention to that league. I'm happy.
That's great
for you, D.
I'm not in the league.
D, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I didn't see any of you.
Congratulations, Tion.
Yeah, you know, no one was at the presser.
Go look at my lineup from week 1 to week 15 and tell me if you see a change.
I mean, hey, listen, I understand.
No one was at the presser.
No one was. It was me and one reporter. Okay, that was it. All right.
It was you.
We couldn't even get a trophy.
It was him and Ian Rappaport. That's it.
That's all it was. That's it, man. We wrapped it up. It was like a 5-minute session. You know, I mean, I'm proud of my boys. No one else is. No one cares now that I won the league. Well, no one was into it. It was a down year.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry, man, but you know.
That's unacceptable, man. You can't just cheapen my victory like that. My guys bust their hump. Look, we had people. I couldn't get people off a trade. I had to talk to the commission. It was a long year. And everybody, and look, and the one reporter I had at the presser, all he wanted to talk about was Colin Kaepernick. Man, I'm damn tired of this Colin Kaepernick stuff. Colin Kaepernick. He asked me 10 questions on Colin Kaepernick.
They asked no questions about that kid Williams missing the tackle on Stephon Diggs.
Nah, that we didn't cover that, but that's the worst play I've ever seen in my life. I'm telling you, dude. I've never seen little leaguers whiff on tackles like that. Like I've never even seen it.
Pete, what I tell you, that's exactly what I told you. I was like, you don't see cats doing this type of stuff.
I'm just
and you know what? But Dion's not the only person. What I found so entertaining about the whole thing is that I don't know if y'all saw the meme with Kevin Hart where it was like Saints fans are still looking at their TV with the shocked face. And it was so real because when they first went back to the studio after the play, before they went back trying to be able to kick the field goal and stuff, everybody in the studio was like, I've seen a lot of football. Never seen that.
Never seen that.
No.
I've watched a lot of football. I've played a lot of football. I've never seen that. Like nobody, the coaches, the players, they were all just like, I've never seen that before.
The best reaction I saw, they showed, was it Willie McGinnis and Reggie Bush and somebody else for the NFL Network, and Reggie Bush got up and walked off the set and was like, did that happen? He was like, I said, nah, man, that did not happen. It was like, somebody get him.
Like, man, listen, man.
He jumped up. He was like, because when the play, they were talking. Oh, no, it was Terrell Davis. It was Terrell Davis.
Oh, God.
Terrell was like, yeah, looks like they're going to try to go for it. Oh, and Reggie just jumped up and was like, that didn't just happen. He was like, did that happen? I'm telling you right now, he's been in that. Here's the thing, it's not the first time he's been in that situation all season. Right.
Right.
How could you do that? It's like I know that coaches say that, okay, don't interfere with them. We don't need a PI because that would have put them right there or whatever.
Right.
But okay, let them tackle them. Just tackle them.
And the thing about it is, and I'm going back to what we were talking about the whole death threats and stuff like that. Like I've been blessed to go to like different cities that have pro teams. And when you go to these different cities, basketball, football, whatever, you get a feel for like the fan base. Like we know, legendary fan base, like Cowboys, Steelers, all that. That forget them Raiders, whatever. But like to New Orleans this year and seeing a game in that dome, and just the sense of the fan base, he might need to not be there if he's there. Because I'm not saying I death threat. That's stupid. We know that's dumb.
Yeah, that's out. That's
right.
out.
That's outlandish. It's over there. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like Lenise, if y'all would have lost something like that against the Atlanta Falcons, the Eagles would have lost like that. That cat couldn't have gone back to Philly for a long time.
He was going to need protection.
That's what I'm saying.
That's just like the kicker from Alabama.
I know you're not up here, but if that would have happened to the Carolina Panthers, they would have been like, we'll go to work the next day.
Right. Everything would have been okay.
That happened.
That's like
okay, whatever.
Just like the kicker from Alabama. Remember when he missed that field goal, and I was like,
or Lenise can tell you the kicker from Florida State a few times against Miami. Yeah, he had a rough couple of weeks on the campus.
I wonder if it's too much to akin this to the baseball game when the fan interfered with the catch.
It's close. I don't think that right there is a little bit. It hits a little bit more home because of all the baseball franchises that are not the Yankees and not the Dodgers. Cubs probably got the worst fans in the game. And that history until they won the World Series a couple years ago, that was probably the thing like that. Yeah, that was really bad. That was
bad. This is really bad. But it can't.
If you and a teammate, you play pro ball. If that's your teammate,
not talking to him. Not talking to him. I don't even want to see his face. I don't. Here's the thing, and people might say, well, that's a bit much. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Because here's the deal. They collectively as a unit bust their hump, man. Even him, they bust their butts, man, to get back into that game.
I know.
You cannot do that. You cannot not tackle that guy, man.
I have to be honest. At that very moment, after I recovered from the shock and despair of it all, I was just like, really? My first thought was, when Drew Brees gets in that locker room, he might punch him with his helmet. Because Drew Brees did exactly what he was supposed to do. And some people were like, well, maybe it's time to let go of Drew Brees. Why? Drew Brees had won y'all the game.
Yeah.
Because when I was watching the game and they left that, and I looked at the clock, I said, oh, well, they left way too much time on the clock for Drew Brees. And they had the same plan that the Panthers had. We're going to force Drew Brees to beat us.
Look, somebody to make a statement like that. If somebody makes another statement like that to y'all, slap them for me, because that is one of the most disrespectful things I could ever hear anybody say. Drew Brees, at 39 years old, they gave him a 1-year contract because they were trying to think, are you about to fall off the cliff? Oh, no, you had a great season because you got a run game and you got a decent defense this year. That man drove for a game in what he thought was a game-winning field goal against the number 2 defense in the league.
Yeah.
Right.
And you talking about getting rid of this dude?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Number 2, if not number 1.
No.
You better hope like 70 yards.
You better hope he don't become a Bronco next year because he's an unrestricted free agent.
Right.
Wait. Hope he don't shut his restaurant down there downtown and go away.
See, and not only did he drive to get to that game-winning field goal, he got you that joint on a 4th and 10. But he got you that joint on a 4th and 10. They were like, well, this is the game right here. It's got to be a perfect pass.
Listen,
you said something
I wasn't
like
even
that
concerned.
That's disrespectful. Like I said, you better hope he sign that paper and come back because he's an unrestricted free agent. You know how many teams will take Drew Brees for 3 or 4 years right now?
Well,
Miami.
They said Drew Brees has released a statement or said Drew Brees said that he's going to be a Saint.
You should have played with him,
as long as they will.
Yeah, I know. Listen, Drew Brees, and people can argue,
first ballot.
Debate me what I'm about to say. That's fine. I'm willing to take on the debate. But he is every bit of Tom Brady, just without the championships. If you want to start a team and you say, okay, who would you like, Tom or Brees? I'll take either one. You can't lose with either one.
Everybody knows that Breezy got game. I think the thing is, like you said, he's not going to probably want to go because he's finally got, I mean, when you got a two-headed monster that's a young two-headed monster like that. And you arguably have a top 5 receiver. I mean, after Julio Jones's, the Antonio Brown's, Michael Thomas' name is going to get mentioned. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is legit.
I mean, hell, even Ted Ginn, Cam Newton made Ted Ginn a receiver.
But what I'm saying is Ted Ginn out here acting like he can catch, Jay. He out here acting like
you're not
Ted Ginn can listen. Come on, Pete. He came to us first. We drafted him first.
I know, right?
And the Ginn family. You remember that? The Ginn family.
We built the Patriots team. We drafted Wes Welker. We drafted.
The Ginn family.
But there's always a Dolphins reference in the show, folks.
We always helping other people out. I mean, we gave him Drew Brees because Drew was. We let
Houston get Deshaun Watson, Cleveland, Brown.
But that was just
Well, the Browns are going brown. That's what y'all do.
But
the Browns are going brown.
But I'm just saying, it's like
that's right.
Like the whole concept of Drew Brees. Like I was talking, it was like he's an unrestricted free agent. I'm like, well, he's not gonna want to leave. But I tell you this. If that stuff like that gets out there, hopefully that's just fans, because if that ever gets to, like, if the stuff that they're doing with Mike Tomlin, they try to do that crap with Drew Brees, man, I'll be like, pack that stuff, shut that little restaurant downtown all down.
Right.
But you know what though, even with Mike Tomlin, if the Steelers for some reason felt stupid and decided they were going to fire Mike Tomlin today, there would be teams that would fire their coaches today to hire Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm glad you kind of hit on that. I will say this: one of the more disrespectful things you can do in the NFL or even in the NBA is overlook a team. Like with the safety talking about New England. Listen, if they ask you, even if the reporter asks you, Lanice is a reporter, she's asking me, Dion, what about the Patriots? Well, the thing to say is we have a game this week versus Jaguars. I mean, or whatever, Jaguars.
The Jaguars.
Yeah, let's get through them first, and then we'll get to the Patriots. Not we'll play them in hell. We ain't worried about it. We definitely gonna see y'all. Listen, that's disrespectful, man. I knew it when them Jacksonville Jaguars took the field. That was the ultimate disrespect that fueled them that entire game. You just gonna overlook us? Okay.
But they said, and I didn't see it, but somebody said that even before the game, he was outside of their locker room yelling, talking about, you're going to know my name today, you're going to know who I am, blah, 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 blah. Because after the game,
I didn't hear that. That's stupid.
All the Jacksonville players were saying, like, they were going, I don't know, some guy, Mike something, said something. They were all pretending like, of course, they didn't know his name, but he was outside the locker room yelling his name, talking about, y'all gonna know my name today. Well, I guess.
That is.
I mean, my man. I mean, Jacksonville. You can't do that, man. That's like.
But here's the thing, though, D. Here's the thing. Already, you got people, because of the whole, this whole thing, New England Patriots, blah 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 blah. You got people already like, well, they ain't got no shot against the Patriots either. I'm like, did y'all see what they did to Pittsburgh?
Wow.
And Pittsburgh was clearly the number 2 seed.
You have a few people already, because they tried to do early predictions, and one person was like, well, yeah, I'm gonna pick the Patriots. I'm like, oh, you just gonna finally pick the Patriots? I said, look, because I know what it was. Tom Brady made a comment and said, this is gonna be the toughest matchup to date for us.
There you go. You better believe it, man.
And here's where somebody said, well, he might have said that just to be respectful. I said, no, Tom Brady is Tom Brady. And if there's one thing we know about Tom Brady, he's a competitor. Tom Brady knows He's about to go through to have to win. He knows this ain't Tennessee, and I'm not no disrespect to Tennessee, but Tennessee, Jacksonville. You know what I'm saying? Jacksonville won the freaking division. Jacksonville was the number one. This is a whole different beast of a talent pool.
And the other thing too is Tom is not only thinking about the offense. I mean, I think the offense will be fine. When you have him and the pieces they have on offense, you got quite a bit to work with. What he's looking at is Jacksonville's offense versus their defense. I mean, listen.
It's not Blake Bortles. It's Leonard Fournette.
It's Blake Bortles and Leonard Fournette, man. Them bound to get rolling.
Bortles is trash, Dion. Don't go last week. Blake Bortles is trash.
Clock is right twice.
Compared to who? I'm sorry. Compared to who?
Compared to himself.
No, he's trash.
Any Cleveland quarterback.
Wait a minute, Jay. Don't even. We don't even want you to. Jay, you don't have to. Okay, I'm gonna take it for you. All right, you don't have to. Okay, I'll jump in for it. I'll jump on the sword for you. Okay. Because I think they forgot about the two quarterbacks we have in Miami. Well, the one that we had for 1 year.
I'll take Ryan Tannehill over Blake Bortles now. Come on now. Ryan Tannehill looks better than Blake Bortles.
Oh my God.
Ryan
That's
blasphemous. A lot.
Cuzzo, you got to stop it. You can't do that. You can't do that.
You know I don't talk just to talk. I'll put stats up against that. Ryan
I understand that.
Had a great season last year. He got hurt. If Ryan Tannehill would have played in that game against Pittsburgh and we would have won, and the momentum going into that playoffs, I would have said we would have had a shot to win that game as opposed to Matt Moore. Matt Moore is a backup for a reason. Ryan Tannehill is better than Blake Bortles.
Can Matt Moore get the hell off of our team? My God, I'm so sick of him being on our team.
I'll take him. I'll be glad to take him.
I'm going to give Blake Bortles credit for doing what he did last week. But you cannot tell me going into that game last week against Pittsburgh that you thought that Blake Bortles' line was going to look at over 230 yards passing with a touchdown and a 94 QBR. What he just did against Buffalo.
You know why? But
the last 2 games of the season.
I mean, come on, man.
No person in their right mind would put money on that. No. And I'm not saying he can't do that against the Patriots, but I'm not going to bank on that. Leonard Fournette, I'll bank on that. That offensive line, I'm going to bank on that.
Yeah, but you can't. No, what we were talking about, the whole thing was about Blake Bortles being a contributing factor.
He won't be.
Wow.
You think Blake Bortles is going to be the reason they win this game?
He'll be. I said contributing factor.
Anybody can hit the ball off.
That is. I cannot believe you just said that.
I would far more believe that
Brian Johnson was a contributing factor. Trent Wilson was a contributing factor. What the hell are you talking about, Dion? He was a contributing factor.
Not only were you not at the presser when I had the damn presser, you are telling me that anyone can hit the ball. This is not the Dolphins, okay? This is not the Dolphins.
And the quarterback you just dogged, the Dolphins made the playoffs with that quarterback 2 years ago. Why? Because he handed the ball off to Jay.
Thank you. And they had some help, okay? Thank you, because that's all he could do. That's it.
Blake Bortles has help. Leonard Fournette is hellacious help in that O-line. Blake Bortles is garbage.
Yeah. Oh my God! Please give me Blake. Please give me Blake.
I'll take Balak.
Thank you, Jay. Jay, they don't live on they're not in government. They're not in government housing like we are. Okay, we're in government housing. We're in Section 8.
I don't even get Section 8. I don't even have a roof. We nomads. My team is nomads right now. We have no. They don't even let us in the homeland.
Dion, it made me mad. Go ahead. I'm pulling.
Listen.
We live in tenement homes. We're not even.
I'm pulling up.
Here's the thing, though.
I'm in a halfway house at this point.
You can't say that you would take Blake Bortles because you're with Cleveland. That doesn't count. You take anybody other than what you got. We all know that.
Well, Cleveland doesn't have a bad quarterback. They have a bad system.
They have a bad,
absolutely bad culture. Yeah.
What are your Eagles gonna survive? Because your Eagles on life support. I mean, they're looking good and all, but I'm
gonna be honest. I liked our matchup better against the Saints than I did the Vikings.
Yes.
But Only because of their pass rush with their defense. Their offense doesn't bother me as much because my defense has been on. They showed up last week in playoff form. They played well. They did me proud. In fact, only 10 points were off a turnover. So you got a touchdown when you ball bounced off our special teams guy and y'all recovered it on the 18th. And then the other 3 points, the field goal that they got was when beginning of the game and the Giants fumbled the ball. But he clearly made up for that. So if we stick to
who are y'all receivers again?
Alshon Jeffrey. We
have Alshon Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar, Torrey Smith. Which, by the way, Torrey Smith had been in the witness protection program all season long. Yeah, he cut his dreads, and it appeared as if he cut his dreads and lost all his ability to catch.
I thought he was still a 49er for some reason. He was just out there like.
I just remember something too, Jay. You guys got Gordon, and that boy looks good, man.
Yeah.
Help me win my championship.
So
not good enough. No.
So I feel and Nick Foles, if they stick to the plan that they did last week with running the ball and the short passes, because again, I don't need flash and dash.
Well, you got Zach Ertz. No, you have Ertz, don't you?
Yeah, we have Ertz.
They still got Ertz and Selleck.
Yeah, Ertz and Selleck,
and another dude that's good. They got like 3 tight ends that are legit.
Yeah,
you guys got weapons.
They stack on offense.
Yeah,
but
when Ajay is resting, we have Blunt, Sissis, Spiller, and Barner. So
but still, Minnesota is tough.
Their defense, but like I said, their offense doesn't bother me as much. But I feel like if we can do what we did last week on offense and definitely get the run game going and everything, I feel like we can keep it close, because keeping it close is going to be the key. We don't need to get in a shootout.
No, you definitely don't want to get in a shootout.
Yeah,
you don't ever want to get down 2 scores against Minnesota.
Hey, what's the DB that was covering Smith? If he has another game like he had, boy, y'all gonna be good to go. Smith was tearing him. Boy, Smith had a penthouse in his head.
Hey, Lanice, and I'm gonna help you guys out. Eagles, you're looking. I'm gonna give you a hint on how to win this game too. There's this BWB on Minnesota named Thielen. Guard him.
Yes, please.
Because he's really good.
Help me win my championship.
Right.
Thielen is really good.
Nasty. He is nasty.
He's our new Mike Fury.
Yes.
Y'all remember Mike Fury?
Yep.
It was like, Mike Fury, you're a D-back. We're going to convert you to receiver. This dude go out and catch 100 passes.
Right.
Right.
No,
for the Lions, no doubt. With Johnny,
like I said, I liked our matchups better against the Saints, which is one of the reasons why I too was devastated when that bonehead play took place at the end of the game. Because
so out of control.
I felt good about the Saints coming and their lungs burning like the Falcons' defense lungs was burning, trying to suck in air with all that cold weather. Because listen,
hey, can we address that? Because Matt, listen,
it's cold, man.
Matty Ice is Matty Light.
He couldn't play in ice.
Light ice.
Play in real ice.
Matty Ice was ice. He was cold this past weekend. He wasn't able to. It was a lot.
But let's be real though. Julio Jones catches that ball 8 times out of 10, man. Come on, now.
If Matt puts it, no.
Actually, he doesn't. This season, I want to say Julio Jones either led the league in drops, or he was like number 2 in drops for wide receiver.
But I'm just saying, man, that ball where I saw that replay, I said, he couldn't get that.
Listen, he should have had.
You say you the best receiver in the game? Come on.
No, he should have had the one before that. But Matty Light overthrew it. He just throw it at his helmet. He'll jump and get it and hold it up. Okay, I knew because I saw it. I saw it the whole time. I said, Matty Light he's gonna lose this game. He's gonna lose this game for this team.
Oh man,
I knew it.
But that wasn't. But he didn't. But he didn't. Julio lost the game. Julio even if he hadn't caught that ball when it went through his hands, he had already stepped out of bounds.
You see how many overthrown passes and
how about they both lost the game because Atlanta was fool's gold. They should have never been in the damn playoffs.
Right.
If you really think about it. They backed into the playoffs and we went with that. We're the 60. They could do it.
I think Atlanta believed all the press because that was the first time in 100 years that the underdog team was the number 1 seed at home.
Because the one thing they had that they could, the one thing they had that wasn't going anywhere, regardless of what seed they had, was their offensive coordinator. And I don't care what anybody says. Coaching matters. Dion, you told me that, and we believe in that. Coaching matters. Go ask Ben Roethlisberger with Haley. They even talking about he not coming back now.
Yeah.
Matter. I'm not talking about head coaches because head coaches are I ain't gonna say figurehead like they don't have a say so. We know they have it, but they hire assistant coaches for a reason to get into the details of everything you do, position by position. Dion, you know that better than anybody.
If you have a dog at defensive coordinator, a dog at offensive coordinator, that's not afraid to call the game, to call plays and put people in the right positions, then you can't win. And if they don't perform, then that's not on you. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's not on you.
And the offense starts. The Atlanta offense they look like the Dolphins. Damn, I said it again. Oh, I can't get off.
But again, like I said, the run game was if we can get the run game going early and not have any turnovers, making mistakes, I think we'll be okay.
You got 4 different running backs. Damn, we can't even buy a running back.
No, we had one of those.
I had one. We appreciate you.
Because
we gave him to you.
That's right.
Good looking.
He forgot how to run. Like I said, he forgot how to run. Huh?
Wow, that is.
So my.
I don't even.
I'm taking both upsets, man.
Yeah, I got Jacksonville.
I hate to say it, Lanice. I think Minnesota gonna go home for the Super Bowl, man.
I want to see it.
Wait, so you?
I thought the Eagles was favorite. Minnesota's favorite.
No. Yeah. So you're only picking one upset.
They can't be favored by what, 3 points or something, right? Is that it?
I don't know. Well, the Falcons were favored by 7 or 10.
I want to say they're favored by like 5 points.
But Minnesota, Philadelphia is the underdog again.
Oh well, I'm taking.
Which, by the way, speaking of underdog, I just like to say, shout out to Lane Johnson for doing good in the hood. His underdog shirts have raised $50,000 for schools in Philadelphia. We appreciate you, sir.
We appreciate you, sir. Get it in.
What?
I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping somebody on the Double S Project can root all the way through the Super Bowl, but I think Minnesota might get y'all, man.
I'm here, Eagles. Let's go. We got this.
And I'm taking the Jags in a knockout, bang them out, tough game. I'm
taking Jags versus the Vikings. I want to see somebody play in the Super Bowl or have the Super Bowl at their home field, and it be them actually playing. I know it's never happened. Yeah, and I think it's time for a change. Let's see it.
It happened for my guys.
Even better for like a city like Minneapolis, who doesn't always think they're gonna host a major event like that. For like the Super Bowl. Where people usually try to pick warmer weather. So I think it'd be cool if they did make it.
It happened for my guys.
If they make it, they get better win it. It ain't gonna be cool if they go back home and lose.
True that.
If they win it, they better go all the way. And I'm telling you right now, if the Jags beat the Patriots, I'm taking the Jags in the Super Bowl. And you guys. Can I breathe for a second and say that I actually just made that statement? Oh my God, the Jaguars might go to the freaking Super Bowl.
Exactly.
What is going on right now? We just think about let's be honest. 4 or 5 years ago, we were talking about Tim Tebow going to the city to save the city because they were about to get rid of the team. They were thinking about it.
Yep.
5 years ago. And now they're about to go to the Super Bowl. That's why I told people, I said, Football is one of the. That's why, Jay, I hate to say it, but the Browns, they have no excuse for being this bad.
That's the thing.
No excuse because the Jaguars were
coaching
on the
matters.
Same level 5 years ago. They were about to lose their franchise in the city.
But that's ridiculous because like when they had what's the running back? They were good. They weren't in playoffs. They've been in playoffs and stuff. I think they actually.
You talking about Fred Taylor? You talking about that?
Yeah.
But Dion, you talking about the late 90s.
Right.
Doesn't matter. It's still.
But that's how that's how it works. If you're not a historic franchise that's had legacy, they will look to get rid of you as quick as they can get you out of there. And
not true. The Browns are still here, and they ain't going no damn well.
Beyond the Browns became the Ravens, and they had to come back. Come on now.
Oh yeah,
The Browns became the Ravens, and then had to come back and say, you know what, we coming back to Cleveland. We're gonna call this up the Cleveland Browns again. Got everybody history books messed up. Like what the hell?
After the Colts turned around and left Baltimore, so then the Ravens had to come back.
I mean, to your point, Dion, I'm with you because it's to me, football is so topsy-turvy, and you can have certain franchises flip it around, but like I said, Jacksonville was one of those spots where we all was kind of looking like, yeah, they might wind up in Vegas or London.
They should. I'll tell you what.
We just talked about it last year.
They should have gone to Vegas, man. I mean, I hate the fact that Oakland's going to Vegas. I really do.
They might go to London.
Nobody plays better in London than Jacksonville.
I'm about to say, but if they mess around and go to the freaking Super Bowl,
they should send the Browns to London.
Man, all the teams that are not as good better just be patient. Things can turn around. It can happen. It's happening in
True that.
It can't happen, Dion.
No, can't happen.
Listen,
we need time.
Unless you are.
Tell Tom Coughlin to the mind.
That won't help. That won't help. That's not going to help.
No.
I think our issues are just with the GM. I really do. I mean,
Jay, we sit here talking like we are the Browns. Like I keep telling people.
I mean, think about it, because it lies with the GM all the time. When the draft happened this year, Alabama had 2 linebackers out there, including one was Reuben Foster. And what did we do? We went to what's the school called again?
Did we get to do with the
from Mizzou? The DN. Oh yeah, we took Larry Tunsil. Yeah, we took him. Yeah, we got him. But he's panning out. He's panning out. We did. Yeah, we got. We got smoke. We got smoke more. We got smoke stack.
With a spray with the Indian on it. With a spray with the Indian on it.
Oh God.
We got smoke stack. But at the same time, we could have had Reuben Foster or the other linebacker from Alabama. Like we have linebackers that are just, we got
linebackers that wear shirts too small.
I just don't understand it. We took a DN.
Cuzzo, good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too, Cuzzo, man. For sure, baby. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm a champion, and none of y'all came to the damn presser, but that's okay.
It's okay. Everybody go bed.
It's okay, man.
All right.
Unreal. Damn, Cuzzo didn't come to the presser. That's family. That's family.
Good night.